Well, guys, we're back at it again. Today's the day I've been waiting for. Pour day. I got a friend coming over later on. He's going to be my back for me today, since I have a broken back and a herniated disc. It's best to have somebody help me out with the heavy lifting. I did a little sample sheet right here. This is what I'm going to be running. I took the paste wax first, ran paste wax over it, and then ran a layer of olive oil, and then did the silicone on the stone. As you can see, it kind of wobbles a little bit. When it's in the flat position, it holds up pretty good. Don't move, stays right where I want it. It only has to hold long enough for the concrete to pour in and around it and keep it into place for that long. We want it to be able to release, so you wiggle this here enough, you can still pop them off. That's what we want. You know, if you wanted it, if it was on there too tight, it wouldn't release. You want it to be able to release. So make sure you just use a tiny little bit, small dabs, smear it out really good. And you see it even sticks back again once, you know, it's still a little wet. I did this not maybe 15 minutes ago. But that's what you want to have. I just wanted to do a sample just to see if, make sure that it was going to release properly, and it does. Okay, so I'm going to get to wiping the rest of the counter down. Got to clean it one last time, then do my wax, paste wax, then an olive oil, and then I'll come back to you. Clean, clean. Can't stress cleaning enough. All right.
Get a whole lot of dust of grime on it. You bet it.
Okay, guys, done with the paste wax. Now, the olive oil. A lot of people, like I said, just use one or the other. I've got these stones in here, and I want these stones to release. I want to make sure this thing comes out with the stones, not pull it out and leave the stones sitting there because they felt too big of a suction or something underneath. So I'm doing both just to make sure that this is going to work. Come out. All right. Just plain old olive oil, you know. That's what we had on hand, extra virgin out of the kitchen. So this one here, it doesn't take that much because you already have wax on there, so probably go a little bit faster with this one here. I'm going to take and then put all these back into place. As you remember from the last time we did it, they have them all numbered. Everything goes back in their own spot. 2 dabs of silicone is all it's going to take. I'm just going to start at the top of the bucket, work my way down. This one happens to be 34, which belongs where? Oh, here. 2 dabs. Don't get a lot on there. And give it a push so it stays and it's not going to slide around. That's all you need. The rest of these are probably down here also. Okay. I'll do 1 or 2 more of these here, and then I'm just going to go ahead and I'll move on and I'll get them all set, and then we'll come back. So we're back, getting ready to mix. We're planning on doing a colored mix. We want our countertops to be black, a charcoal color. Each container of this will do 1 80-pound bag. Always mix it, measure it out properly, mix it into a separate container before you add the concrete. Get this mix, you get it thoroughly mixed, it'll mix into the concrete. Your color is going to be more thoroughly blended into the concrete. Okay, I'll get this done and come back. So you get her to about that thick. It's going to be nice and thick. And probably wondering, that will not pour in and around those rocks. There's a very important thing, one important step you cannot miss. magic. Watch what this stuff does. This is flow control. 1 bag per 80 pound. Just a cool little powder. Watch what this stuff does. Almost like you added water to it. See how much more viscous it gets? Just one simple little bag of flow control. It's the coolest stuff ever. You don't have to add water. If you add water, you lose strength in your concrete mix. And so you don't want to add excess water if you don't have to. Flow control is really cool. Make sure you get it all the way down to the bottom, get it nice curly. One thing I didn't mention is earlier is that we are a little colder day today, so we're using warm water in here. When you get cold weather, warm water will help it to set up a little bit faster, so you're not having to wait so long. And we just bring the bucket inside, and we just gently start pouring it in. Ooh, I broke my hands here. Ooh, baby. Ugh. All right. Well, hang on one second here and grab a. We'll use the bucket so we can do a little bit at a time. I don't have to do quite so much, not so heavy. Oh, gently pouring in and around all the rocks first. Nice. You can see how it just flows in and around them. That'll help to anchor all these rocks into place so they don't slide around and move on you. All right. Okay. Now take your fingers, work it in and around all the fittings. Make sure it's in here. Get it nice and tight. One thing that I show you, use your hands to get it in and around this, so that you don't move those stones too badly. Move the corners. Okay, one thing I want to show you that'll help you out tremendously. This. Right under here, follow this cord. I mounted, you probably can't see it. My sander. I got a vibrator. Now the entire table is vibrating and it's moving all of that stuff in and around those stones. You want to be able to vibrate as much as you possibly can. You can help it out, tap the edges. We'll finish this up, we'll hit the rest of the next bucket pour, and then we'll come back. Alright everybody, I'm back. We've got this one already done. We've screeded it off. Screeding is basically taking, once you get a good level, you take a screed board that's nice and level. You scrape off any excess, pour it into the next one. Keep going. Then hit it with a trowel, making sure that all your edges are nice and clean. These guys right here, these are mollies that come with the sink. It's part of the sink kit. I use the 1.5 board, or 1.25 board, sorry, as a gauge to just keep them out away, because our opening is 30 inches. The sink is 33 inches. Gives us an 1.5 on the side. So 1.25 gives us pretty good to where the clamps grab a hold of it nice and firm. So we should be really good having them spaced back that far. I'll watch a little puckering around them. And as far as your rebar set where it hits, I've had a couple of them hitting on the rebar too, but that's all right. So I got 8 of those, 3 on the sides, 2 on the back. That should hold the sink nice and firm. The sink is also going to be siliconed into place, so that shouldn't be a big issue. So there we go. Until we get the next 2 done, I'll come back to you. I got to set some rebar and mesh in that one over there that we just finished pouring. Then get to the next one, and it's coming along. All right, one thing I want to show you guys is the importance of vibrating this stuff. You got to have you can use an orbital sander. I have the table. I've already shown you the vibrator underneath the table. The one sander I have hooked up. But it's mainly on that big counter on the other side. So when you're doing that and you're vibrating it like that, you don't end up, when you flip this thing over, have a whole bunch of air bubbles on the surface. All the bubbles will work their way to the top from this way. And then you get a nice, clean, smooth surface. Makes it a lot easier polishing. A lot less work when you go to flip it over and you start polishing and having the slurry coat. A whole lot easier on you. So can't stress the importance of vibrate, bang it out, vibrate some more. Makes it nice and smooth. Done. Got a bit of the cleanup taken care of. Got tools put away. A lot of moisture comes up to the top. That's natural. It's going to set this way for 3 days. Undisturbed. You leave it alone. Once a day, come out and spritz it with a little bit of water. You want to keep the top moist as it cures, and you want to keep it covered. So just drape some plastic up over the top of it, and keeps the moisture in, and then it cures at a slower rate. I'm not making a mess on myself here. There we go. Usually best to take and throw a couple of boards under here to raise it up a little bit so it's not sitting right directly on. I have those down here. Straighten a few boards in here periodically to keep it up off of directly off the countertop. Yeah, like I said, come back in 3 days. Every day, give it a little bit of spritz. Come back in 3 days, and it should be cured up, set, ready to flip over and see what the finished product looks like on the other side before we start polishing. So we'll see you that.